So in designing a shaft, we'll try to design this particular condition. We'll try to find the diameter of the shaft. Now it has been asked to find the diameter of a solid steel shaft. This word solid is very important because we may also solve for a hollow shaft. As you could see here, we'll be also designing it for a hollow shaft. So we have a solid steel shaft which is transmitting 20 kilowatt of power at 200 rpm. So this is the data that is given. Right? The shaft is used to transfer 20 kilowatt at 200 rpm. The ultimate stress for the steel may be taken as 360 megapascal and the factor of safety is taken as 8. We have to find the diameter. This is another condition. So we'll come to that condition later. Here we are using a hollow shaft. So let us go ahead. So since there is only power that is being transmitted, the shaft is experiencing a shear stress. As you could see, the shear stress is given, the ultimate shear stress. Right? We have not given the tensile stresses because it is not experiencing any tensile load. So it is experiencing a torque. So it is having a power of 20 kilowatt. So 20 kilowatt at 200 rpm. So the shaft is running at 200 rpm. So we have to find the diameter. So we have we will be using the shear stress formula where T by J is equal to tau by R is equal to G theta by L. So from this equation we will be utilizing T by J is equal to tau by R, where T is the twisting moment or torque, then J is your polar moment of inertia, tau is the shear stress, and R is the radius of the shaft. Now T by J is equal to tau by R. So from this we could simplify the equation as T is equal to tau into J by R, where J is pi by J is actually given by Ixx plus Iyy. So J by R can be written as pi by 16 d cube. J by R is pi by 16 d cube into tau, which is the torque. So d cube is equal to 16t by pi tau. So d is equal to 16t by pi tau, the whole power 1 by 3. So this is the equation for diameter when the material or the shaft is experiencing a torque, and if you know the shear stress of the material, that is the allowable shear stress. Now the shear stress here is given as tau is equal to 360 megapascal, which could be directly converted as 360 Newton per mm square. So the factor of safety is given. So tau is equal to 360 Newton per mm square divided by 8. We will be using the factor of safety. Simplifying this, we will get it as 45 Newton per mm square. This is the tau. Now we need the torque. We know that the power of the shaft is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. This is the formula for power. From this you can find 60 p by 2 pi n is the torque. So where 60 into the power is 20 kilowatt, so 20 into 10 power 3 divided by 2 into pi into n, which is running at 200 rpm. Simplifying this, you will get the power in Newton meter. You should be very careful. Here you are getting it in Newton meter, but we will be taking tau in Newton per mm square. So for example, let me take this as x. Then I will be finding x into 10 to the power plus 3 Newton per mm. Because meter to mm, it will be 10 to the power plus 3. So substituting everything, d is equal to 16 t by pi tau, the whole power 1 by 3. Simplifying this, we will get the diameter of the shaft in mm for the first condition, which is a solid shaft. Before we go ahead and find the diameter for a hollow shaft, let us find the value of Z and tau for a hollow shaft. Now we know that for a solid shaft it was pi by 32 d cube in case of Z, that is a section modulus, and if it is J it was pi by 16 d cube. Now this was J by R and this is Z, which is your section modulus. Now if we take it for a hollow shaft, now I by y is your Z, this is I by y, but the formula for I will become pi by 64 into d naught power 4 minus di power 4. This will be the formula. So instead of we having pi by 32 d cube, which is I by y, now I itself will have a slightly different formula because of the hollow section. So this is here hollow shaft. So this is the only section that will take part in the moment of inertia. So the outer diameter is taken as d naught and the inner diameter is taken as di. So the value of y is as usual d naught by 2, right? That is your radius. So which is equal to pi by 32 d naught power 4 minus di power 4 divided by d naught. So instead of having d cube, we have in this term. So we will introduce a term called as k, where k is equal to di by d naught. So this is a ratio of inner diameter by outer diameter. So we will multiply pi by 32. I'm going to multiply the equation with d naught cube and divide it by d naught cube into d naught power 4 minus di power 4 divided by d naught. So now I can convert this as this denominator d naught cube can be taken to the inside, and that could be utilized to derive the formula. So pi by 32 d naught cube into d naught power 4 minus di power 4 divided by d naught power 4, d naught cube into d naught. So this could be written as pi by 32 into d naught cube into d naught power 4 by d naught power 4 minus di by d naught the whole power 4, which could be utilized as pi by 32 d naught cube into 1 minus k to the power 4. So this is the simplified formula for z. Instead of using z, which is pi by 32 d cube, we will have the same, almost a similar formula, pi by 32 d naught cube. We have this one more term, which is 1 minus k to the power 4 in terms of a hollow shaft. So this is the formula for z, which is for a hollow shaft, which is your section modulus I by y. Now let us try to find the diameter for condition 2. So condition 2, what we have here is, if a hollow shaft is to be used in place of a solid shaft, find the inside and outside diameter when the ratio of inside to outside diameter is 0.5. So they have given it as di by d naught is equal to 0.5. That is our k value. So since k is given, we could go ahead with the formula. We have d is equal to 16 tau by pi tau, 16 t by pi tau the whole power 1 by 3. This is in case of a solid shaft. Now what we have is a hollow shaft. So let us derive from the initial condition t by j is equal to tau by r, where t is equal to tau into j by r. Now we have derived for z. Now let us try to derive for the condition of j by r. Now as we know, right, for j, the formula was pi by 32 d naught power 4 minus di power 4. So it is j by r, which is equal to d naught by 2. Again the same condition. Using the same approach, we will have pi by 16 into d naught power 4 minus di power 4 divided by d naught. Again using the concept of k, pi by 16 into, this will be d naught cube into d naught power 4 minus di power 4 divided by d naught power 4, multiplied and divided with d cube. So my j by r will be equal to pi by 16 d naught cube into 1 minus k to the power 4. D naught by d naught is 1 minus di by d naught is k to the power 4. So this is the formula. So my tau into pi by 16 d cube, d naught cube into 1 minus k to the power 4 is the formula for t. So if I replace rearrange this in terms of d naught cube, I will get 16 t by pi tau into 1 minus k to the power 4. So this is the formula for d naught cube. So my formula for d naught will be equal to 16 t by pi tau the whole power into 1 minus k to the power 4 the whole power 1 by 3, which is equal to 16 into, we have already found out the value of t, right, which is here x into 10 to the power plus 3. We have already found out for the previous condition. So it is x into 10 to the power 3. You have to find the value of x. I didn't complete it. So pi into tau, which is already 45 Newton per mm square, 45 Newton per mm square into 1 minus 0.5 to the power 4. This will give you the value of d naught. Once we have d naught, we have the value of d naught by di by d naught, which is 0.5. This ratio has to be always less than 1 because the inner diameter will be always less than the outer diameter. So d naught is equal to, or di is equal to, we have d naught already, so d naught into 0.5, that will give you the value of di in terms of mm. So this is how you could solve the question number 1. So go ahead, all the best. Thank you.